All right, today we are diving into a story that honestly feels like it's been ripped straight out of some dark, near future thriller. It's all about a freelance coder, a guy named Jack Harlan, who gets pulled into this world where every single involuntary twitch tells a story he is desperate to keep buried. Let's get right into it. Just think about this for a second. What if you couldn't trust your own body to keep your secrets safe? What if every nervous tick, every little flicker of your eye was being read like an open book? And not just by anyone, but by something that knows you better than you know yourself. Yeah, that's the absolute nightmare at the heart of Jack Harlan's story. And boom, with that one single chilling line, we are dropped right into the thick of it. See, that's not just some casual observation, that's a threat. His interrogator isn't even listening to his words. He's watching the poetry of his involuntary movements, and he's loving what he sees. So where are we exactly? Well, Section 1 kicks off deep inside this hidden facility they call Sublevel 9. And forget about looking it up on a map. This place is a ghost. It doesn't exist. We're starting right in the middle of the action. No backstory yet, just a man in a chair under the most intense kind of scrutiny you can possibly imagine. Now, this is not some clunky, old-school polygraph machine. Oh, no. Harlan is wired into a system that is sleek, it's silent, and it is terrifyingly advanced. We're talking electrodes on his temples, high-tech goggles. Every single part of his body is being monitored, not just for general anxiety, but for specific involuntary confessions. So check this out. This is where it gets wild. The system literally translates his body's subconscious static into hard data. His interrogators are reading what they call the body's Morse code. A simple eye twitch? To them, that's a high-stakes lie. A flex of his toe? That's buried deception coming to the surface. They've basically turned his subconscious into a language they can read fluently. And here's the system's verdict. This cold, clinical diagnosis. Polysemantic evasion patterns. I mean, that's just a fancy, detached way of saying he's lying in really complex ways, using multiple tells at once. He's already failed the test, and for him, things are about to get a whole lot worse. Okay, so that begs the question, right? How does a regular freelance coder end up in a secret, high-tech prison? Well, to figure that out, we've got to rewind a bit and look at the anatomy of his abduction, how he went from a dark alley to this hidden facility. Just look at the efficiency of this. This was no sloppy kidnapping. It was a precise, perfectly coordinated operation, all disguised as a medical emergency. From the alley to the ambulance to being wired up, it all happens in mere minutes. The cop and the paramedics, they were just actors in a very, very convincing play, all designed to neutralize him before he even knew he was a target. And this just hammers home the whole nature of Sublevel 9. It operates completely outside the law. There are no rights here, no official arrest, no process. It's just a seamless, terrifying transition from a city street into a subterranean black site, a floor that, for all intents and purposes, doesn't even exist. So, we know how they got him. Now, let's take a look at what they're using on him. This really brings us to the core of the story, the technology itself, a terrifyingly effective system they've nicknamed the Neural Snitch. At its heart, this whole machine is just a high-tech version of a very old, very human skill, mentalism. A mentalist doesn't actually read minds. They read people. They're masters at observing tiny, subtle tells, a quick glance, a shift in posture, to figure things out. Harlan's interrogators are basically tech-enhanced mentalists, using powerful sensors to catch what a human eye would definitely miss. And this comparison right here makes the difference crystal clear. A regular polygraph, it just measures general stress, and you can train yourself to beat that. But the Neural Snitch, it's not looking for stress. It's looking for specific, involuntary micromovements that are directly linked to deception in the brain. It doesn't need to ask if you're lying. It just watches your body confess before you even open your mouth. And that line from his interrogator, it's just this chilling reminder. The physical tells are just the beginning, the way in. The tech and the methods they're using down in Sublevel 9 are designed to peel back every single layer of a person's mind until there are absolutely no secrets left. But this is where the story pivots. Just when everything seems completely hopeless, Harlan, the coder, starts to think like a hacker. He starts to wonder, if he can understand the system, maybe, just maybe, he can beat it. And this is the moment the light bulb goes on for him. He's no longer just a victim of this system. He's actively analyzing it, searching for a vulnerability, an exploit. He realizes his own knowledge of how this stuff works could be the very weapon he needs to fight back. So how does he do it? Well, he breaks it down into this brilliant four-step counterplay. First, he identifies what they're doing. Then he actively starts trying to control his own physical tells. He uses body language tricks to project confidence, and this is the most important part. He tries to believe his own lies so deeply that his body believes it too. He's literally trying to hack his own subconscious. And it works. When they ask him a direct, incriminating question, he holds it all together. No twitch, no flex, not a single spike on the monitor. For the very first time, this supposedly infallible machine actually blinks. He's created a glitch in their system, and in doing so, planted a tiny seed of doubt in his interrogators. You'd think beating the machine would be the end of it, right? Nope. This leads to a completely unexpected outcome. He thinks the test is over, but the final revelation, the actual truth about Sublevel 9, is way more terrifying than the interrogation itself. And just like that, it's over. They let him go, but with this cryptic warning. 1 minute he's in the sterile nightmare of Sublevel 9, the next he's thrown back onto the rainy city streets, just left to wonder what in the world just happened, and what they meant by "we talk soon." He goes to the only safe place he can think of, his friend Tommy's apartment. And this is where the floor completely drops out from under him. Tommy, who's also a coder, starts talking about some mysterious project he's been tracking on the darknet, something involving black-budget satellites. And the project's name? Meridian, the exact same name from Harlan's interrogation. And here it is, the gut punch of a reveal. Meridian isn't just some file he stumbled on. It's a massive surveillance system that runs predictive AI simulations on people, creating these what-if videos of possible futures. That horrific, hypothetical scenario they interrogated him about, it wasn't a hypothetical at all. It was a video generated by the Meridian system. And the fact that his friend Tommy knows about it means the secrets of Sublevel 9 aren't secret at all. They're being broadcast. Tommy's words just land the final blow. See, in coding, a fork is a branching path, a different version of the future. Harlan realizes he hasn't just been interrogated about his past, he's been shown a potential AI-generated future, and it is leaking out into the real world. And all of that leaves us with this one final haunting question. If a system can not only predict but actually broadcast potential versions of your life, influencing the world around you, how much free will do you really have left? Is your future still a path you choose, or is it just a script you were always destined to follow?